Okay, it's 4:30. I'm pressing the button now.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody.
Thanks, Misty. Welcome, teachers. We are so glad to have you at our January Kickstart Your Learning. It seems like January is always so long, but we're finally to the 31st, and we've saved a great way for you to end this month. We're going to bring you buttons, banners, and beautiful graphics. A picture is worth 1,000 words today, and we're going to be highlighting a tool that we all have in Keller ISD, which is Canva. We love Canva, and we know that you guys do too. You guys tell us all the time how much you use it. So we're going to try to show you some intentional ways to use it today, making buttons, banners, and beautiful graphics. We're glad you are here. All right, in case you don't know us, my name's Christy Harold, and my wonderful coworker is Misty Shea. We serve in Ed Tech for Keller ISD, and again, we're excited to be with you this afternoon. All right, let's talk about what's going on for your side of this training. You're probably joining us virtually on some type of a device, your laptop, your phone, your tablet, whatever you're on. We would love for you to be able to see the chat in YouTube. Most of you will already have this set up and you will already be able to see the chat. If you don't see the chat, we'd like for you to get it. We ask that you chat with us during this session in order to get SBEC credit for the session today. So if you don't see your chat, I'm going to give you a few quick steps to make it appear magically. And if you do see it, you can tune out for about 30 seconds. So in order to see the chat on a YouTube Live, you have to actually create your YouTube channel, which you have in Keller ISD. So on your device, you're going to click on your profile circle up in the top right. You might not actually see your picture when you go up to the top right to look at it. Sometimes that picture is broken, so you might just see your profile circle, and it might have that image that means the picture or the link, the graphic is broken. Whatever you see, click there. And then the next screen or a pop-out wizard is going to have you, it's going to ask you to choose which side, and you're going to choose the side that says use your name and select there. And then you're going to click save and continue. That will open up your Keller ISD YouTube channel. You may have to do a refresh with your refresh arrow in the top left. However you need to do that, you're going to complete those 3 steps to make your chat show on the YouTube Live. So it's your profile circle, it's create a channel. I think I might have forgotten to say that the first time. So profile circle, create a channel. Sorry about that. Then on the wizard, you're going to select the side that says use your name, and finally save and continue. Just take a few seconds and get that channel, the chat box opened up. All right, Misty. Hopefully they're opening up their chats and they're going to be chatting with us in the chat during our YouTube Live. And I'm going to turn it over to you to get started.
Awesome, Christy. I am so excited that y'all are here with us. We are going to go over buttons, banners, and beautiful graphics. A picture is worth 1,000 words using Canva today. And if you're joining us from Keller ISD, you can access your Canva account by going through your K Cloud, and then it'll automatically sign you into Canva. Canva is a free tool for K-12 teachers and students, and you get the pro version. So everything we're going over today, you should have full access of. And then, Christy, I'm going to share on top of you. I do apologize.
Oh, perfect. You go right ahead.
All right. So I should have I should have gotten to where Christy was to begin with. There we go. Let's go over. All right. So I'm going to start with just buttons, and then actually I'm going to start with why use graphics. So graphics direct students' attention. So no matter what you're doing, just having some kind of visual, whether it's a poster, something on your LMS like Canvas or Seesaw, in a newsletter, having consistent graphics direct students' attention. It also assists with long-term memory. They start realizing red means stop, or oh, whenever there's a book image, I have to read. So graphics are great for storing long-term memory and making those connections. It assists with organization and recall. Again, like I said, I always know that I have a video first. There's a video icon. Then I read next. There's a book icon. And then it helps students and teachers process that and recall it. It boosts learners' understanding, especially when you're working with English like ELL, English second language learners, English language learners, and any students that need a little extra assistance. Graphics help. Any kind of visual cueing system is going to help them. And then finally, just ease of navigation. So again, if you have a newsletter, if you have an LMS, if you use Canvas or Seesaw, and you always want them to read something, having a book graphic or a graphic that signifies that they're going to read will always help with that ease of navigation and where to go. So we're going to start with buttons. So I have some examples of some buttons right here. Um, in our Canvas courses, a lot of times I like to have a start here button on my homepage. So where kids can either click on modules or they can click on start here to get to the modules. So again, just that visual cue that helps them know where to go. I've also seen people use visual cues for the day of the week. So they have a button for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, et cetera, et cetera. I've created a button to put in my social media or even to put in my Canvas course or anything, sometimes a presentation. So I have this where I can stick my name in my title, and there's my picture on anything. I could put it in another slide deck. I can add it to social media. Here's an example of where I've used a button in order to direct students to the modules or wherever you need to direct them to. I've used a button to, if I teach multiple classes, so if I teach math, English, social studies, and science, to direct them to a subject area. And then, of course, another example of the start here. This is actually our start here button that we have in our Canvas courses that teach you about Canvas, our Canvas learning. And so we like to keep it thematic and have that panda in there, but also help students navigate. So I'm going to come over here to this side and I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a button. So you'll notice I have some rectangular buttons and some circle buttons. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to do the circle one today. So in Canva, it's amazing. They have so many templates already made for you. And you do not have to remake the wheel. And so by me typing in button, it's giving me a whole bunch of options. I can do a Canvas button, a Schoology, which is just another LMS, another learning management system. And it doesn't matter. You can use them in either. It's going to just be a graphic. You can do a graphic that's more like this, or you could just see all of them to see what they suggest. But I'm actually just going to hit enter and see what pulls up. And I am all about graphic design is not my first love. It is hard for me. So I love perusing these templates that are already made. See, there's my day of the week one that I borrowed, and all I did was change the color. So don't reinvent the wheel. Go find something that works for you and use that button however you decide. So I am going to click on a very basic one. So how about let's just do this gradient one, and I'm going to click on it. When you choose a template, Canva will ask you if you want to customize it. So you'll click customize. And then here's your template. And so just like it showed you, you have the days of the week. So let's say you don't teach by days of the week and you teach by modules. So all I really have to do is come in here and type, I'm going to say units actually, unit 1. And then I can come down here and type unit 2. And so I really don't have to make any kind of graphic design decisions. Now, if I really wanted to, add a little more, I could take this text and move it up, and then I can even add an image within my button. So with Canva, you have access to all of these. They call them elements over here on the left side, and I can search anything. So if I teach English language arts and my first unit is book studies, I can search the word book. Here it says graphics. I can click see all, and then I can just choose any graphic that I see that will work for my unit 1. Again, just another way to visually cue students as to what my first unit is going to be. And then as students go through the units, they're going to get used to that's consistent font. So I'm always going to keep the font consistent. I will use the same thing. So I'll use the same where I'll do unit and then an image of the unit. So if unit 2, now we're studying poetry, I can type in poetry, and then I can go choose find a graphic to add in. And so, and I would do that all through there. And then I would just download it as a PNG or an image and then upload it to a newsletter, to a Canvas, Schoology, any place that can use a graphic. And like I said, you can even do it on social media. Essentially, you're downloading a circle image. So anywhere you could use a circle image, this graphic is for you. And again, I do want to point out, if circles are not your jam, going back to the templates, they had all of the you had all of the ability. You had ability to also choose square ones as well. So like here's an example of a square one. Um, other square ones. And then there's even some tiny little rectangle ones that are more traditional that you think about on website buttons. So just the basics of buttons, giving you just that choice. And again, that visual cueing for students to know where to go, and to know how you've organized things.
Thanks, Misty. Your buttons are
Absolutely.
so cute. Buttons are such a fun thing to start adding. So, if you just want to start with one thing to add, I highly suggest buttons. I really love starting there. Okay, what we're going to talk about next. So, our second B in the title of our training today, buttons and banners. So, what is a banner? A banner is usually a graphic that has a visually identifying purpose. So, it tells me what's underneath it. The banner shows me what that's going to be, usually through graphics and words. So, you might use banners for things like this graphic right here was on one of our how-tos for Aries. And so it kind of showed you school, papers, grading with a pen, and the grade. So how to do Aries grade reports. This banner is on the top of our blog. This banner went on the top of just a message we sent out to some teachers at Halloween time. This banner was actually for more of identifying what a student in a class needed to do. So click mark is done and next to continue in the class. And this one was specifically for Canvas, which is kind of a great way so you can show students what to do with a banner. This banner is actually a class card for Canvas. So if you're using Canvas at all, you know that each of your classes can have a visual image for the course card, which makes students able to quickly identify what class they should open when they get into Canvas. And so we'll talk about those as well. And then this banner was actually a Canvas banner that we made for a specific Canvas class. So banners can be used on newsletters, on docs, in Canvas classes, and we're going to talk about how we could use them in Seesaw too. So lots of things banners can be used for. All right, so Missy showed you how she searches in Canva. I search just a little bit differently because in my mind, I'm starting with the size of what I'm making. I love how she searched right here and she gets all of the content that Canva has. I typically tend to search right up here in this purple button in the top right called Create a Design. So if you search the word banner here, Canva is going to give you lots of options, a landscape banner, a portrait banner, a blog banner, a Canva banner, classroom doc, and more things that I don't even know what they are. I'm going to start with a Canvas banner today. And the way I start, I get that blank document or that blank banner. And then Canva will always, if I search from that create button, dump me into the design portion of all of my different things that I can do in Canva. So their designs are what I'm typically going to get into first by default. So up here, I can search through these banners like this, or up here, I can even narrow down more. So say this is for a science Canvas class. So I can specify or search within their designs and find something more of what I'm looking for. I'm going to take out that search word and I'm just going to scroll through and click one of these. We'll go with just this first basic one. It's all happy and colorful. Um, Again, like Misty showed you, any of the elements on here are editable. So I could say, welcome to Mrs. Harold's class, and I might want to use my size resizers to drag that text a little bit smaller so that it will all fit. Or maybe I really don't want this to say hello everyone, so I can click on that box and delete it out. And then I can resize that text again. And maybe this image isn't what I had in mind. That's okay. I can delete that image. And like Misty showed you, my second tab in Canva is my elements. So I can search for school supplies and add a different photo. Maybe I like that photo or that element, that graphic better. Can drag it to the size I need. Perfect. So I've got my banner built. What do I do with my banner now? How do I get it where I want it to go? Well, with banners or buttons as well, you're typically going to use the share button at the top. And most often with these things, you're probably going to download them. When you download them, you're going to get different types of files that you can download as. I typically use a PNG or whatever they suggest if I'm putting it into digital format, a digital platform. So then I just download and for me, my finder is going to come up and say, where would you like this banner to go? And I navigate to where I want to save it and then click save. And then I can then turn around and upload that banner into my Canvas class or my Google Doc I'm using or wherever I want that banner to go. I can use banners at the top of a newsletter, which Misty's going to talk about newsletters in just a minute as well. If I go back to where I'm searching for my size, starting with create a design, I can click on doc banner and I get almost that same size rectangle. I've got more designs that Canva is suggesting that help me jump off without starting from a blank page. I can jump off from any of these. And if I think I put that one there and I don't like it, I typically just go back to my list and click on another one. With all of these elements, I can typically edit the colors depending on um, what your design is like. Some of the graphics don't allow you to edit the colors, but a lot of them do. So I can match it to my school colors if I want to. Um, all those kinds of things I can do, and then I'm ready to download. One thing that I thought was cool when I was looking at banners was I found Seesaw announcements. So for my elementary teachers that are using Seesaw, there is a sizing for a seesaw announcement. I thought this was really interesting. So they didn't have a lot of designs for me to choose from that I could always build from scratch. But if I have something that I need to send quickly to my families, don't forget to wear your house shirt tomorrow. Don't forget it's field day tomorrow. I can make a quick Seesaw announcement and then head over to Seesaw and drag that into my messages and send it to my families. So banners are a fun thing that you can start with just to decorate either Canvas classes, use it with Seesaw announcements, put them on your newsletters or your docs. All of those are great ways to get started with banners. Hey, Misty, I'm passing to you, but I think you might still be muted.
See, that's what happens. You know, we were all there. We've all been muted at some time and are still talking. So I love that you pointed out there are so many different ways to use digital graphics and banners. It doesn't just have to be in Canvas or a learning management system. It could be in Seesaw. It could be on the top of a Google Doc. It could be in a newsletter. So thank you so much for that. So exactly, that's what we're going to. And I love that Christy showed you her way of searching, and you might even find your own different way of searching. You just kind of all find what you like and how you navigate at Canva. So again, I'm going to come up here to my search bar and I'm going to type in newsletters. I love that Canva has so many already created, so many themes and so many options. And like she said, if I love this, but I don't love yellow, I can change the yellow of that. I can make it say something else. So I usually look at the overall appeal of what it like, kind of the theme of it, and I get that vibe, and then that's what I take and I make it my own. So I might like this whole outdoorsy look, but I don't like that bear. So I can always change that. So that's what I love about the newsletters. And the cool thing about the newsletters is you can keep adding. I'm going to go back to one I already started. you can keep adding page after page. So let's say this is the newsletter for this week, and I went in and I typed my information and I changed the things I wanted to change. Change colors if I want to, just to make it, whatever it is I feel like it needs to be. And then I can add a page and or duplicate another page as well, and then do the next week. So I'm not starting from scratch. I used to do this in the classroom when I had newsletters. I would just make a copy of it and just keep going. And then I can bring this one to the top to where my current newsletter is, this the week of February 2nd. Um, and then the current information. And sometimes the information builds and something falls off. So it's nice for them to have the update of that week, and then they could still go and have the next week and the next week and next week. And the great thing is when you share it, it shares as a website. So that's really kind of cool. So if you'll look on my over here, if you click share and then anyone with the link can view, this is what it looks like when they open it. It just looks, you're looking at a website that's view only, and they get that full picture of that newsletter, and then they can click through the various pages of the newsletter. So this week's newsletter, they can go back to last week's and then to 3 weeks ago if need be. Like I remember a parent asking about something, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was in the newsletter on this date. And so I had to send them another newsletter. But if you have all your newsletters together and the current one on top, and then of course you could drop off. Like let's say you just want the last five, so, and you could drop off after five. But I like the ability to just keep duplicating and changing the things I need. I don't know about you, but in the classroom, I needed all the precious time I could get. So duplicating and making copies and just not spending a lot of time on stuff like this really helped me out a lot. And so again, even if you send a weekly newsletter or if you collaborate with someone, I love the ability to add a collaborator. So I can come up here and I can add Christy, and we can both be collaborating and editing this newsletter together. So if your teamwork makes the dream work, add everybody into this and everybody can take turns editing. And let's say they accidentally deleted your favorite design, you'll come up here and click undo, and it you can go back and find the version of the deleted thing that they might have accidentally clicked off of, or oh, I accidentally deleted Valentine's Day, which hasn't happened yet. So you have a lot of different things that you can do to make newsletters work for you. Um, but yeah, I really like newsletters. I like that they designed it graphically for me because again, it's not my strongest point. I can change colors a little bit, but putting a whole thing designed together, it's hard for me.
Thanks, Misty. I think that newsletter tip is just so amazing. I would have benefited from that when I was in the elementary classroom. Um, I also loved that you showed how they can share because I just think that's so important. So thank you. Um, all right. I said I was going to tell you something and I got so excited I forgot. So, what I want to go back to banners and do is tell you how you can take something you've created and make it a different size. So, in Canva, this is under the magic switch button. And like Misty mentioned earlier, because we're part of an educational institution, we get Canva Pro for free, which is so exciting and gives you so much more in this software. So I've got my banner here. Remember, I made that. And this is going to go maybe in my Canvas class. But I also want this same look to be my Canvas card picture so that my students begin to associate those with each other. So in Canva, there's this amazing feature called Magic Switch. So if you make something and you want to remake it in a new size, this is how you do it. So you're going to click Magic Switch. Now, I happen to know that a Canvas course card is the size 262 by 146 pixels. How did I know that? I Googled it. So just Google what size is a Canvas course card. That'll tell you what size to create an image for your Canvas course. So I'm going to click on that little size that I need. It's a very customized size, and I'm going to click Continue. And it's going to give me this preview. It's going to squish everything into a different size. So that's okay. I'm going to say copy and resize. And when I do that, it's going to make me open a new tab to see it. And this is the size of the Canvas course card And I like it. I like that it's the same, that my students are going to open up Canvas and see that is the course card, and then open up the class and see this is a banner on top of my class. But maybe I just want to edit a few things. So I can do that. I can make this shape a little bigger like it was in the original, but oh, that messes up my name. So I'm going to do this, make those letters a little bigger and squeeze them again. Oops, maybe too big. It's cutting off part of my name. So again, you get the picture. I can edit till my heart's content here. And then I have a banner and a course card that match and give that student that easy visual identifying. Same here. When I'm ready, I am going to download this, typically as whatever Canvas suggests. Download, and it will go straight to my Finder or my File Explorer, depending upon what device I'm on. All right. So what's really next for me, now that I went back and covered Canvas course cards, is weekly agendas. We know that some of you on your campus, it's a focus that you have a student week at a glance for your students. And it's never a bad thing for students to see a week at a glance. It gives them, just builds organizational skills for them and for us as teachers. So we're going to talk about weekly agendas. Canva has them. You don't have to worry. There's no need for you to create anything. You're just going to start editing text when you find the one you like. Canva has daily agendas. So maybe you want to display this in your classroom every day. You've got it. Canva has weekly planners. These are amazing, and there are plenty of them. Canva also has monthly lesson plan documents. So whatever you might need, Canva's going to find something that hopefully you're going to like. Again, I'm going to start up here with the Create a Design button, and I am just going to search weekly agenda. And when I do, I get daily agendas, agenda presentation, weekly calendars, weekly lesson plan, weekly menu, weekly report, weekly schedule planner. So much I can start with. I'm going to start with weekly calendar. And you guys can see the designs are endless for me to look at. I've got one here, then I can start typing in these boxes. And this text is really small, but again, I can drag it bigger. And I can add more to it. The great thing about using Canva for a weekly agenda, this is almost just like using a Google Doc, but basically I can link things here. And we're just going to link to the Keller ISD website for ease. And that link, if I choose not to make this a PNG or a PDF, will remain active if I embed. So let's say I'm creating this weekly planner and I have links for my students so they can access what they need. And if it were me, I would edit this and take off Saturday and Sunday. And you'll see that in just a second in one of my examples. If I go to share this weekly agenda, instead of downloading, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an embed code for this. And I'm going to have to click more to do that. And then I'm going to choose embed. And I'm going to choose embed again. And then I get embed code or an embed link. And if you're not sure how to get this into Canvas, Missy and I would love to help you. It's one of our favorite things to do. But basically, if I get that code, I can come over here in Canvas and I can use my little tool, my embed tool, which is my little cloud tool, and I can copy that code here. And then whatever I have is going to be embedded on a Canvas page. The links will be live. And if I go and make changes, and I can link it, I'm not going to re-link it. And I come back over to Canvas and refresh. Oops, actually, it's not happy with me because I never saved the first time. So let's do that again. Let's add that embed code. And let me save. Perfect. And now if I refresh, Let me go back and make sure my changes are still there. Come back and refresh. Well, it's not wanting to work today, but it will. Trust me. It does sometimes take a few seconds for it to talk to Canvas. So we'll come back and we'll look at that in just a minute, but it will be like a live document. So then you're going to save yourself time, like Misty mentioned earlier. Each week, you're just going to come in and you're going to edit this every week, or you can even add pages so that you can keep them. And then you're going to embed when you add more pages, you can choose what to embed. So that would be super important to do. But you can make your changes, and those embedded changes will show in your Canvas course. Missy and I do this with lots of our Canvas courses. So that's a cool feature that saves you some time. All right. So Seesaw announcements, we talked about those briefly earlier. But if you're wanting to you could use Seesaw announcements as your week at a glance for your parents. There is even a great example here. If you're needing to remind your parents of something, or you can take out this text and put in text about what content you're covering. But that would be one great way to share with families what you're doing for the week. And then if you're not sure what you're looking for in Canva, a great place to start is this templates. Click over here. And then on the left, education. And if you drop that down, you're going to be able to filter by grade level or subject or resource type. So let's say maybe I want to see all of the flashcards in Canva for education, and you're going to get so much. You can even search on top of these filters, but this looking at templates through education is a great way to start looking at what all Canva has. It's a lot, but it's so exciting and fun when you find something that you can use well. Okay, we're going to go back over here. We're going to refresh again. There's my change. So it does just take a second. But you'll notice now, if I embedded this whole thing, you'll notice now that I can go through the slides and see the second slide, which had nothing on it. So a great way to show a weekly agenda that's easy for you to keep up with through Canva.
Christy, I love that. And I love that you showed them all the different ways to search again. And I do want to point out sometimes I just know I want a panda. And so I will actually search the word panda, not knowing what design I want. And like Christy showed you, you could resize it. So I know eventually I need an Instagram square, but I just need a panda. And I'll find a really cute graphic that's like a button, or it's a flyer for someone's pizza, panda pizza or whatever. And I'll take that graphic, resize it to my size, and then make it fit my needs. So don't get stuck in the fact that, oh, that's a button or that's not a button, I can't use it. No, go find a flyer for, oh, no, once was a logo for a ninja company and I loved it, but I didn't need the logo size. I wanted it to be Instagram size. So I resized it and I just changed a couple of words, and it was the coolest button I've ever made. So just sometimes I let the designs take me where they're going. I'm so extra. All right. Let me show you our next slide. All right. So organizing with graphics. I love organizing with graphics, whether like she's in a newsletter, in a banner, in a Canvas, Seesaw, Google Classroom, any of those things. As you're typing out assignments, I love using graphics to separate, so as dividers. So one way I use them, and this is an actual example from one of our courses where we type notes, and then when we wanted to separate the notes from the actual action steps, we put this dotted banner, and that was something we just made in Canva. Here's another example where I seriously just went in and made a banner. And then the only thing I put in the banner was these little paw print and bones. And then I made the background transparent, and then it had a divider. So let me show you that really quickly. I know we're running out of time. So if I just wanted a banner, and it can be any banner. So I'm going to start with this one because there's really nothing to it. So I'm going to choose it. I'm going to delete the text. And then I'm going to come over here to elements, and let's say I just like stars. So I'm going to find some stars in the graphics. So let's just do this little cluster, and I will just seriously duplicate over and over until I have a banner. And you see it started realizing what I was doing. And so then I will just download that and create that digital divider. So it's that easy. I like dividing out my instructions and then what specifically I want the students to do, as you can see here. I also like organizing with icons and images. So for example, every time I want to write the objective, I have this little like what is it called? Yes, that thing, the thing right there, like Target. And then
Target.
a target. Oh,
Bullseye.
I just said it. Oh my gosh, a target, a
Bullseye.
bullseye. I'm done. And then anytime I'm talking about content, so think about how you can use a graphic for reading. So every time you have something they want to read, you use the same book graphic. Anytime you want them to watch a video, you find a graphic of a video. And in here in Canva, it's so easy to find really good images. So like my first grader is obsessed with the play button. So that for him, if I was a teacher and I added the play button every time he had to watch a video, seriously, it would make his day. He already asked me, Mom, how many followers do you have on YouTube? Like it is his life. I don't know why. I don't even let him watch YouTube very often. He's watching Minecraft. But having those visual cues to where anytime I'm in a course or anytime I'm doing an assignment and I see the play button, I know there's a video I need to watch as part of my instructions. And so think about things that you do consistently. Do you always have the kids look at a slide deck? Do you always have the kids do certain things before they do the assignment? Or even when they're doing the assignment, are there certain things that are repetitive in your classroom? And think about how you can visually represent that with any graphics. So, I mean, not that I want a slide, but that would be hilarious if I had an actual slide for a slide deck. Or be creative, and once you start using a graphic over and over, your kids will get it. And then they have a visual cue of what they need to do. And then I love organizing with the fun numbers. And another cool thing about Canva is if I put in numbers, there are so many options. Um, I have found I love being thematic. So I have found numbers that look like it's a comic book. I have found numbers that look like it was crumpled paper. So I really try to keep my courses thematic. So if my course is like right here, we did the red dots, so my numbers were red. If I was doing the puppies, maybe I would find numbers with a paw print. I'm not saying it has it, but let's see. I don't know. And I might have to get creative where I get the paw print and put the number in the middle. So, just keeping that consistency to where students know, okay, first with the number one, this is what I need to do first, this is what I need to do second, and then third, this is my final task. Just that organizing with numbers, but giving them some kind of visual to that number and not just the Canvas text like this, and they get lost in reading. Especially again, if you have English language learners or if you have students that struggle with heavy reading. And so finally, we want to point out this video will always be housed on our educational technology YouTube channel. So if you want to tell your friends and you want them, hey, I just learned something really cool from EdTech last night, definitely go to our YouTube channel where this will be housed with all of our other Kickstarts. And I'm telling you right now, we have some other Canva Kickstarts. If you are really interested in learning more about Canva, we've done a bunch of things on Canva. So go look at our YouTube channel. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We try to push out all the cool things that we're doing and just reminders and, oh, hey, did you know it's time to restart your computer? Things like that on our social media. And then we have a website, www.kellerisd.net/KIC. But we also have a button on KCloud that's just hashtag EdTech KISD. So we have a lot of ways that you can get to our resources and get help. And then we're always an email away at EdTech KISD, and a lot of times we answer tickets as well. So if you really need something, you can definitely put in a ticket. Anything that I have not thought of, Christy?
No. If
I
you
can't click
will.
again. Come on.
Oh,
It's not letting me click.
uh-oh.
Well, we had a really sweet welcome, like goodbye
Here,
message at the end.
I'll share on
Yeah,
top of
share
you
on
real
top
quick.
and click through.
All right. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I am going to add the bit.ly into the chat. So if you wanted the slides from tonight, you can just click on the link that will be in the chat if I can type it correctly. Perfect. And it should link itself. So if you wanted the slides from tonight, you can absolutely grab them from that link. Otherwise, just email us. We're happy to send you the link again. And again, the recording will drop right into our YouTube channel as soon as we're done. And you can always go back and watch our older episodes as well. With that, I think we're done for tonight, Misty. Buttons, banners, and beautiful graphics. You can do it with Canva. It's so, so easy. It's life-changing. All right, we'll see you guys around the district. Thanks for being
All
here
right.
tonight.
All right. We are off.